Sumant, I want to begin the conversation with you and sort of putting all that is happening in terms of the trade turmoil, frequent geopolitical changes, rollbacks and whatnot, particularly in the climate space, the United States of America, going back on decades virtually of climate-related commitments, plans and strategies. What does it mean in the long run for the broader renewable space and especially from an Indian context?
Yeah, hi Siddharth, thanks so much for having me. Look, I think the fact that the world's largest economy, accounting for almost 30% of global GDP, and by the way, the biggest cumulative emitter for carbon emissions in the atmosphere, if they pull out of an agreement, it's just difficult for that agreement to be as effective as it would have been had they been in, right? So therefore, it's really a setback, I would say, that they've pulled out of course, the COP, the UNFCCC processes, the ISA from an Indian context. It's not good, right? The other thing is that they've also started defunding research into climate change areas. A lot of the measurement, climatic, oceanic, atmospheric measurement actually was happening in the US. All of that is getting defunded. So our ability to predict what's going to happen or understand what's going to happen is also going to diminish to some extent. Having said that, that's the bad news. The good news is, on the other hand, that in COP38 Belém, all the other 192 countries got together and continued to commit to dealing with climate change. And so the rest of the world is saying, you know what, whether the US is there or not, we are still there in the fight against climate change and we will carry on. Now, of course, it would have been more effective had the US been there, but they're not. And so it is what it is, but at least we are carrying on. What does it mean for India? I think not that much, frankly. Our story is more domestically driven. Of course, if climate change becomes worse or bad, it's bad for India because we're a vulnerable country, and to that extent, our people will be impacted by it. But as far as our own rollout, our own targets are concerned, those will continue unabated. And the good news is that last year, India overtook the US as the second largest market for solar installations in the world after China. And so we are making progress. And so if other people join or not, we are certainly seeing this as an opportunity for us to get much further ahead on the energy transition.